Hello, Dr. Sweaty. No, unfortunately, it's Tuesdays. I only do readings. Today is Freaky News Friday. Only on Tuesdays. Good Friday morning to you. It is 10 a.m. We know what time that is. It is time for Friday's Freaky News. Let's go ahead and get started. It's 10 a.m. in Valdez, 2 p.m. on Eastern Standard Time. So on the first half of the show, we'll be talking about an out-of-place artifact was discovered in the Sumerian city of Uruk. A guy knocks down his wall of his house and discovers an access to an ancient underground city. We'll be talking about astronomers finding missing matter and solving a decade-long mystery of outer space. What life has been like at the Winchester Mystery House during the pandemic. What else are we discussing? Pat Price. Was he killed because of his remote viewing skills? And a giant allegedly captured on camera in Mexico. And we'll also be talking about the legend of Black Angel of Oakland Cemetery. This and more. So let's go ahead and get started. Watch your ears. Good morning, everyone. It is time for the Shadows of the Moon show. As always, we are live on YouTube, DLive, Facebook, Twitch, and Mixer under the same name of Shadows of the Moon. So if you haven't yet, come on over and join the fun. It is time for some Freaky News Friday, where we scour the internet, find the weird and odd news of the week, and I share them with you. Are you ready for your odd news of the week? Well, let's get weird and dive right in.
And now, coming to you live from Alaska, here's a woman that has been around many moons and has seen many shadows. Here is your host, Shadows of the Moon.
Good morning, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? What's going on? Hopefully you all are well. Let's see what's up. Okay, let's get that out of the way. What is going on? Good morning. Good morning. How are you all? Make sure everything is working right. So far, so good, right? Guess what? I finally figured out the whole share thing. Some of you might not know that I had a couple problems with sharing my screen. Every time I would, my Chrome would crash out, basically. I tried it with Chrome, with Opera, with Firefox, Internet Explorer, all the major, browsers that we use and everything, and they all started crashing. So I'm like, what the hell? So I went and searched browsers, and I found that extension for Chrome, which is Chromium, I think it's called, and that one worked. So we can share my screen again so you guys can see what the hell I'm talking about when I'm talking about it. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Hope you all are having a good day. It's Friday. I don't know if you guys are back to work yet. We're starting slowly to get back into the swing of things. So if you are getting back to work, TGIF, after I'm sure a work week that's been crazy. Getting used to going back to work has been hard, you know? So again, thank you for watching. I hope, you're loving the show. Yeah. So let's go ahead and jump right into it, shall we? The first thing we're talking about is we got some from Alien News. This is actually from News Instica? No. News Instact.com. I'll share the link in the when I'm done. You know how it goes. Let's go ahead. Please don't crash. There we go. So we got an out-of-place artifact discovered in a Sumerian city of Uruk. Now, let me go ahead and see if I can, mind you, this one you can't. I'm using Opera GX because I've been finding that it's been great for like gaming and that. But apparently I can't, unless I go into regular settings, I can't blow it up like I would with Chrome. But anyway, out of place artifacts. Is my chat working? Hold on one second, guys. Let me just make sure. Let me test my chat because it doesn't seem like it's coming up on stream. Okay, there we go. All right, just making sure. But anyway, this out-of-place artifact discovered in the Sumerian city of Uruk. This happened in May 23rd, 2020. This extremely strange artifact was discovered only recently and has been kept at the Pergamon Museum in Germany ever since. Most of the artifacts that cannot really be explained are placed in the museum exhibits. But what sets this apart is that there is so little information about it that nobody really knows what the story is or what it's even meant to tell, as opposed to most other artifacts out there. That's a pretty cool looking statue inside it looks like a burial bowl. That's what it reminds me of, at least. The artifact was discovered in the Sumerian city of Urk, which is located in modern Iraq, and was found inside a spear wall that was shielded from any unwanted attention. A lot of people have hypothesized that it might be a worshiping tool meant for the astronaut of some sort. Remember the ancient flying machine Vimana mentioned in the Indian epic. Could this spear symbolize a kind of flying machine? It does make sense since the man-like statue is placed gently inside of the UFO-looking spear. What this would imply is that some sort of man or humanoid creature had arrived in our planet in the past and inspired enough fear and admiration for the people that they immediately ended up worshiping them as a result. I don't know. It's got the beard of a Sumerian though, or Anunnaki, but it looks Egyptian-like. That's wild. It's a wild thing. It could be a clear proof of alien life, although we do not wish to get ahead of ourselves and just throw random theories around. What really matters at the end of the day is that this is an incredible discovery for mankind. One that if we're not careful enough while studying, we might even end up not being able to adhere to it. Who knows? It could be a warning or a blessing. We'll just have to wait and find out. Oh no, I was seeing if I could right click and bring that closer up on the screen for you guys. But that's pretty wild looking. Definitely pretty neat. I'll go ahead and put that in the link, or I'll put the link in the chat so you guys can check that out. The pictures of that, it's really cool. Definitely really cool looking. Our next story is this guy knocks down a wall in his house and discovers access to an ancient underground city. This is coming from the same place, newsinstact.com. Can you imagine just doing everyday housework? You know, not everyday housework, but knocking down walls and that and find. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine. So it says, imagine that you're doing some renovations. That's the word I was looking for. In the house, and you accidentally discover an ancient underground city of immense archaeological importance. This is exactly what happened to a man in Turkey. That didn't help. So in today's video, you'll see the incredible story of an ancient city of Derinkuyu and how it was discovered. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Could you imagine? Oh my goodness. While the man from Turkey was renovating his house, tearing down a wall, he noticed that behind it was a room that did not appear in the sketches of the house. While investigating the new room, the man was surprised when he first saw that room was connected to a hallway. That's crazy. Look at that. Investigating even more, the man realized that it was just the beginning of a huge underground city full of ancient rooms and tunnels. My goodness. This underground city even is equipped with a lot of small ventilation tunnels, which carry oxygen from the outside. But each exit to the surface of the city is camouflaged. Excuse me. My goodness. How beautiful. I wonder what it almost looks like sandstone, but the city is also equipped with massive stone doors that are designed so that they can be closed from the inside. This suggests that the purpose of this underground city was to keep the unwanted world out, just like today's bunkers. Look at that. Wow. This discovery is immense archaeological importance because this underground city is huge. It's not about a few small rooms and tunnels. There are hundreds of them. I could not imagine finding this. Let me go ahead and do that. I could not imagine finding this in my, you know, just knocking down a wall and you notice the rooms there and it leads to all this. That is crazy. Look at all that. I mean, obviously, this is what could have been life like in there, but that's like a model of it. I don't know how long this is. Oh, it's 5 minutes. But
Imagine doing some home remodeling work in your house and accidentally stumbling upon the entrance to a
look at
hidden
that.
underground city with significant archaeological importance. It may sound like the plot to a best-selling novel or action-adventure movie, but it actually happened in Turkey in 1963. Here is the incredible story of the ancient underground city of Derinkuyu and its modern discovery. In 1963, a homeowner in the Nevşehir province near the Turkish city of Cappadocia was doing a renovation project. When he tore down an old wall, he discovered a secret room hidden in his basement. This would be surprising enough, but after poking around the secret room, he made an even more startling discovery. There was a tunnel leading out of this hidden chamber that descended down into a mysterious labyrinth.
That is so wild. That is so wild. If you guys want to watch that video, I'll go ahead and put that link in the chat for you guys. I couldn't imagine. I would spend so much time down there that it wouldn't even be funny. I would spend so much time. You couldn't draw me away from there. I mean, really, there's no way. There's no way. So the next story we have is astronomers find missing matter, solving decades-long mystery of outer space. After intergalactic search lasting more than 2 decades, an Australian-led team of scientists say they have finally found the universe's missing matter. I didn't know we had missing matter. Or that matter was missing. Solving a mystery that has long stumped astronomers. Since the mid-90s, scientists have been trying to locate half of the universe's ordinary matter. They believe... Hey, Eli. How you doing? They believed it was out there because of the clues left from the Big Bang, but they've never seen it. What we're talking about here is what scientists call baryonic matter, which is normal stuff that you and I are made of. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for asking, said Associate Professor Jean-Pierre Mercure from the Curtin University node of the International Center for Radio Astronomy Research. Astronomy is full of missing stuff. Most of the universe is understood to be dark matter and dark energy, which nobody has ever directly seen. But even more of the mystery for astronomers is that they couldn't find the half of the ordinary matter in the universe. It's been a true embarrassment that we haven't been able to find it, said the professor, Xavier Prochaska, an astronomer from the University of California, Santa Cruz. Astronomers have been looking at the universe using all sorts of different forms of light. The radio waves through the X-rays and visible light, none revealed the missing matter. Okay, Eli, no worries. That was until they started to measure fast radio bursts, brief flashes of intense energy found racing across the universe, and discovered the missing matter hidden in the cold, dispersed gas between galaxies. I don't know where he is, Eli. I don't know. As FRBs travel across the universe, they are dispersed and slowly in the matter, or by the matter they pass through. Each frequency of radio energy is slowed down differently by that matter. So this is, I guess, explaining the fast radio. There's no sound, apparently. But that's how the matter moves, and that's where they found it. That's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting. Just like a prism spreads light into a rainbow of colors, each with a different frequency, the missing matter in the universe spreads the FRBs out into different frequencies. By studying how far away the origin of the bursts were and how much they had spread out by the time they reached Earth, the scientists were able to figure out how much matter was sitting behind galaxies. Repeating the process with 6 different FRBs coming from different parts of the universe, the team was able to figure out how and where the missing matter was. The results was published today in the top scientific journal, Nature. It was a great feeling to have the measurement, to know something that you think only a small number of people in the world know, to put to bed a cosmic mystery, Dr. Mark Quart said. Definitely. They've been looking for this stuff for ages, and they finally found it, knowing that it was there, but just couldn't see it. That could be, Eli. That could be. Seeing such tiny charges in FRBs require a mammoth effort using a combination of massive radio and optical telescopes. The team uses the CSIRO's Australian Square Kilometre Array Pathfinder, an array of 36 radio telescopes in the Midwest of Western Australia. Combined, the dishes equate to a single radio telescope with a 4,000 square meter dish. Yeah, you never know, Eli. I'd be missing me too for that, come on now. They have the ability to look at a huge area of the sky in high resolution. That means without knowing where the FRB would come from, they were able to capture it and analyze exactly how spread out each wavelength was. Then the aptly named Very Large Telescope in Chile, sorry, that's a town where I'm from, Chile, measured the distance between Earth and the galaxy that the FRB came from. With those 2 pieces of information, the researchers were able to determine how much matter was in the otherwise empty space that each FRB passed through. So that's pretty cool. They discovered that all this matter that they had been trying to find, couldn't find it, and they finally found it, which is awesome, which is definitely awesome. Many mysteries remain, though. The discovery still leaves much of the universe undetected. About 85% of its matter is thought to be dark matter, which this undetectable uses ordinary methods. I like a mysterious universe. It means there are much more to understand, Dr. Mark Quart told the ABC. I think it's really exciting, said Professor Tara Murphy, as an astronomer from the University of Sydney who is not involved in the research. It's the first step to using fast radio bursts to probe the invisible universe, she said. Dr. Marquette Quart said that the next step was to get an intricate understanding of this newly found matter using 100 or more FRBs. You are mysterious, Eli. You like to think you are. We all know you, though. We all know your game. No, I'm just messing with you. He said by understanding its precise structure, astronomers would be able to better understand how galaxies were born and what happened to them when they died. It will be like a medical image of the universe. Yes, the pizza game. That's pretty interesting. That is really pretty interesting, and that comes from abc.net.au. And again, I'll put that link in the chat in case you would like to. And all these links should be in my description anyway, but if they're not, you could always come over and watch the video, and the live chat should be up. The next thing on our list is, can you imagine being in a pandemic and, okay, apparently we're going to have a blank screen, being stuck in the Winchester house? Let's see what's going on. We might not get to the story. There we go. Bizarre is putting it mildly. Life at the Winchester Mystery House during the pandemic. You're stuck there. It says, for a supposedly haunted house, the Winchester Mystery House is normally alive with decidedly corporal activity. Every few minutes, another tour departs. Floorboards creak under the weight of eager feet. The gardens are filled with cheerful guests drinking wine from the outdoor bar. But these days, the house is quiet, and it's been since the day of Sarah Winchester. Bizarre is putting it mildly, said General Manager Walt Manguson. I know I probably butchered that. It's been nothing like we've ever seen in our 97-year history. It is a beautiful house, though. I will say that. I love that house. The Lamperton Mansion in San Jose, which began its famed expansion in the mid-1880s, opened for visitors in 1923, shortly after the death of its brilliant, eccentric owner. Since then, it's been a favorite of ghost hunters, history buffs, and architect lovers, renowned the world over for its dead-end staircases, doors to nowhere, and other oddities. But since the corona pandemic, since the coronavirus pandemic shut down California tourism in mid-March, the historic home has been emptied of visitors. With its small indoor spaces, tight corners, and the occasional low ceiling, it was clear that there is no way to safely funnel guests through the age of the highly contagious viral outbreak. We look to, of course, the state and the country, or the county. We can't get ahead of them. We're trying to prepare a number of different models based on what the criteria is. The guidelines come first, and then we figure out how to tell our story. Look at how huge that thing is. You really don't realize, because they always show the pictures of the front of it, right? You really don't realize how massive the Winchester house is. That's huge. That's huge. That didn't help much, but, it's so gorgeous. So gorgeous. There are a few months on some signs of life again, although indoor museum experiences are still off limit. Outdoor museums are able to reopen in the current stage of Governor Gavin Newsom's reopening plan. Last week, the Winchester Mystery House opened just its grounds to visitors again, allowing small groups to do touchless, self-guided tours of the historic garden. As to when the interior will reopen to visitors, Magnuson isn't sure. The operations staff is closely following updates, county and state guidelines, and keeping an eye on what other historic sites have reopened and are doing, but most appear to be operating at maximum half their previous capacity. And it's possible there will be restrictions on if tours can mix groups of people who aren't quarantined together. That's the hard part of it, right? Is trying to get everybody that's I mean, you imagine if it's a tour of being the people you're quarantined with. Say me and Eddie go to the Winchester House. That's a tour of two for two. Do you know what I mean? It's not like these big groups of people that they can take in at one time. So that definitely sucks, you know? Many of our rooms were designed and are in small spaces, he said. The benefit for us is that we have a lot of control because we're not a place of mass gatherings. We can control and pulse people in and reroute accordingly. If we have some places liable to get congested and become pinch points, we can change that, which is cool. But at least for now, the garden tours have been warmly received by regulars who miss the home and the Bay Area residents just happy to get outside for a while. Plus, there's an added intimacy that's not always possible during normal times, which they need to get as many people through the tour each hour as possible. We're able to interact with them in a deeper way because we have smaller volume tour presently. It's something where if I'm strolling through the garden and see a guest, I'll get to chat with them. I can understand that. It's more meaningful. It's more personable. We're very pleased with all the success, he said. It's really our first step of achieving a new normal. But yeah, can you imagine? I thought that was more going to be more of a how it is if it's, noticing more activity in the house since the quarantine, but still very cool article. And of course, that's in chat if you'd like to read it. That's from sfgate.com. Hey, Freaky Geek, how you doing? How are you doing today? Welcome, welcome. So, Pat Price. I couldn't wait to today because I've been wanting to read this article. Pat Price was one of the most skilled of the U.S. government's remote viewers of the 1970s. They're thinking that he could have been killed because of his remote viewing skills. Hey, Blue, how you doing? And so let's see. This is from Mysterious Universe. And it goes on to say, he was someone who regularly used his psychic abilities to spy on hostile nations for various military intelligence departments. There was very little doubt that Price would have continued with his work had death not intervened in a very strange and even sinister way. Price passed away on July 14, 1975. It was, however, the nature of his death that was so disturbing of all. Just a few days before his untimely death, Price had a number of covert revenue with a variety of agents of the National Security Agency. Hey, Nicole, how you doing? Also with personnel from the Office of the Naval Intelligence. The meetings were initiated to determine if Price would be willing to undertake remote viewing operations with both agencies. Price was gung-ho for both projects. In no time at all, the operations began. Hey, Shrimp Shack, how are you? I know, Eli was the first one here today. Hey, Andy, how you doing? So, just a few days after the meetings, Price flew out to Washington, D.C. His destination, he took a flight to Salt Lake City and then into Sin City itself, Las Vegas. We may never know for sure if Price suspected that his life was in danger, but the fact is, however, that with all the top secret work being undertaken for the U.S. intelligence, Price became concerned about his safety to at least a certain degree. To the extent that the purpose of the flight to over some important sensitive documents to a friend. So he figured out that his life wasn't in danger for at least a little bit where, he gave his important documents to a friend. Oh no, internet problem. Oh, gotcha. Oh, Nicole, that sucks. I'm sorry to hear that. Believe me, I know. I feel your pain. I really do. So he gave the documents to a friend just in case anything were to happen to him. It was the afternoon of July 13th that Price checked into Vegas Stardust Hotel. All was going good, that is, until it wasn't. As he approached the desk to check in, a man walked straight into Price. It was a violent collision. He felt a shooting pain in his leg as if he had been hit with a needle. With hindsight, that may very well have been what happened. In near quick time, Price started to feel ill and decided to lay down and take a nap, but not before handed over those precious documents. A few hours later, and still not feeling good, Price met with several friends for dinner. There was something on his mind. Not only did Price tell them about the collision in the lobby just a few hours earlier, but he also confided in them that while he was in Washington, D.C., just a little more than a day earlier, he had seen someone slip something in his coffee. Having seen this chilling covert action occur, Price left the coffee well alone and exited the restaurant quickly. As for the evening at the Stardust Hotel, it wasn't going well. In fact, not at all. Price cut the dinner meeting short and went back to his room. Around 5 a.m. the next day, Price woke up in significant physical distress. His breathing was not right. He had severe cramps in his back and stomach, and he was sweating profusely. He called his friends who had those important papers, who quickly raced to Price's room. A doctor was about to be called when Price began to convulse. Then he went into cardiac arrest, and despite the best efforts of the paramedics, who were quickly on the scene and who managed to briefly kickstart his heart, it was to no avail. Price was soon dead. It is a fact that Price had heart disease, but with that in mind, his death could have been due to natural causes and nothing else at all. But we cannot and should not forget the fact that Price had seen someone slip something into his coffee just a couple days earlier. Then there was the matter of the potential suspicious collision in the lobby of the Stardust Hotel in Vegas. To this day, the death of Pat Price, almost certainly the work of an overseas hostile nation, is still discussed in hushed tones when the conspirators lurk. So what do you guys think? Do you think he was killed, or do you think it was his heart disease that killed him? I mean, that's hard to come by, you know? I think he could have been killed for his remote viewing skills. I mean, he just got, for you just arriving, he was meeting with the National Security Agency, also with personnel from the Office of Naval Intelligence. And those meetings were initiated to determine if Price would be willing to undertake remote viewing operations for both intelligence operation, for both agencies. Well, no, what happened, Freaky, was he saw somebody slip something into his coffee a couple days before. But what happened, they think now in hindsight that this person ran into him in the lobby of the hotel the day he died, or the day after, or day before he died, and stuck something with him because it was like a bad collision, and he said his leg hurt afterwards. But there's the link to that story. But yeah, I think he could, and it goes to tell you, our government sits there and says, "Oh, we didn't participate in any weird thing, any odd phenomenon," but yet they have, it's coming out that they did have remote viewers. I mean, we all knew that anyway. We all saw it. Well, I didn't see the movie, Men Who Talk to Sheeps, but I know what it's about. Exactly, Andy. Wouldn't be the first time that someone who hasn't helped their government that have gone made disappeared. Yeah, dead man walking. Yeah, that's true. That is true. The next story we have up is alleged gray or giant gray alien face found in Antarctica. Dun dun dun. Pareidolia. Everybody, hey Ron. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, Ron. When I read that at first, I thought about the umbrella. Yeah. Yeah, only in movies. Yeah. You ever watch I'll tell you what, let me tell you. I got stuck on these watching these videos and I still watch them to this day about our not the Secret Service, but like spies and everything, how they criticize movies. Have you ever watched those videos? Like actual spies back in the day will tell you what they had and what they didn't have back then. It's pretty cool. So, pareidolia, of course, is the tendency to interpret a vague stimulus as something known as an observer, such as seeing shapes in the clouds, seeing faces in inanimate objects, or abstract patterns, or hearing different messages in music. Um, this location of what many pareidoics see in Google Earth as a gigantic gray alien face bulging out of the ice in Antarctica. There's the face. I can't blow this up because I'm on Opera and I have to go like really into my settings to really blow it up. Unfortunately, unless oh wait a minute, maybe I can do this. That really didn't help, did it? I'm sure it probably didn't. What do you guys see? Do you guys see a gray alien? It is definitely strangely shaped out of ice. Bit too perfect? Yeah. That would be a lot of. You don't see it, Nicole? I see it. This is the mouth. These are the eyes. This is the nose. You think it's fake? I don't know. If you ever go on Google Earth, there's some weird crap on there. Well, I should say there's some weird crap on Earth. Pity the person who finds an amazing likeness of Jesus burnt to their tortilla or toast. They can't get anyone to pay attention to them. Now that Google is making satellite images available of the surface of the Earth, the Moon, and Mars, where anyone can piece together enough rock shadows and windblown sand or snow to see aliens, spaceships, giant faces, or any other out of the place images that put the burnt toast back in the toaster where it can get 15 minutes of flame instead of fame. Photoshop? I don't know. Here's the longitude and latitude. So if you guys go to this on Google Earth, I'll put that in the chat. If you put that in chat, or if you put that in chat, if you put that in Google Earth, it should come up to that location. The latest example comes from the craggy white surface of the Antarctica, where there are anonymous owner of the UFO Scandinavia account posted a Google Earth image of what they decided as a gray alien face. While one can certainly find evidence of each of those things individually, it is one collectively. And if so, what if anything does it mean? Yeah, I like the pics of Antarctica too. So it looks like that it was found on the tip. Isn't that one of our bases are? No, I think our base is up here. I don't know. I can't remember. Or it might even be up here. I don't know. So apparently the YouTube channel Third Phase of the Moon managed to fill a 10-minute video with as much as they could possibly come up with a Google Earth image. The comments are on the video and the image posted by UFO Scandinavia are proof that imagination is not dead. On the other hand, if there is a giant gray alien trying to chew its way to the surface of the Antarctica, it definitely is dead. Or is it a giant statue? If it is, it puts Mount Rushmore to shame. Or if it's a message to future extraterrestrials visiting Earth, like Kilroy was here, maybe the mouth opens and reveals an alien base. Make about it much sense and leaving messages with circles in a cornfield or lines in the desert, doesn't it? What do you think it is? It's definitely, I mean, there's no doubt about it. Did you pull it up, Freaky? It does look, yeah, too perfect. I mean, oh, I don't know. I don't know, Ron. Yeah, I can. I can. I'll put the link in here and I will send it to you in Facebook when I get out of here. Just remind me before we go, okay? Because you know how my memory is. Right. I didn't pull it up. I will admit I didn't pull it up, but okay. You sent me a screenshot. Is that on Facebook or Twitter, Andy? Oh, you're not on Twitter, right? No, I don't know. I can't remember. On the face below. Really? Let me go ahead and pull that up. Like down here? Let me go ahead and pull. Hold on. Let me go on this side. So let's see. Oh, crap. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. It's going to take it a second to load. Or more than a second to load. Really? You going to do that to me? I hate when you're trying to click a link and you accidentally, like, it refocuses and goes to hit something else instead of the link you're trying to hit. God, I love that. I probably could have done it easier this way. Oh, Lord. Give me 1 second. Sorry, guys. All right. Now, let me go like this. Really? All right. Let me put this down so I can actually see you guys. Are you serious? Okay. I wish I could blow that up. Whereabouts are you talking, Andy? Let me see if I can scroll up here and see. Look at the ice. There is a lot of gaps in the eye. Mouse selective cutting by the photo doesn't show the natural occurring in the area. Really, Ron? Now that's interesting about the guy in 3 phases was being followed by the men in black. Hey, Lone Wolf, how are ya? Before he stopped making videos. That's interesting. Interesting. Below the left, 1 second, put a lot of ice fissures due to moving glaciers off to the. Yeah, I see that. I see that. Why is Ron mad? I can understand that, Nicole. I know there's a lot of things out there that you got to be careful about Photoshop. Yeah, definitely. But Google Earth, I mean, you can take screenshots and obviously Photoshop them. But when you're looking at Google Earth itself and seeing it, that almost right here looks like a fox or a raccoon. No, you're not crazy, Ron. Not at all. Believe me, there's a lot of eye-opening stuff out there, right? Yeah. Like right here, the eyes. Maybe not. I don't know. I can't see that one so well. I'm like looking at it at all angles. I see animals more than anything in that picture. Is the pin where the face is, Andy? Right, Ron? But yeah, I mean, when it comes to like ice and everything, it is hard to, I mean, ice forms. And are you kidding me? There's an ice patch still on a mountain that looks like it's flipping us off. You know, it's Mother Nature. We were joking about that last night. Mother Nature flipping us off. What can I say? So, moving on to the next story, we have the bizarre case of Russia's Kishtim being. For years, there have been sporadic cases when the carcass of other remains or mysterious creatures have turned up from all corners of the planet. These corpses are usually mummified and found already dead, sparking all manner of discussion and debate, providing possible evidence for forces beyond our understanding. In some of the more bizarre cases, the creatures in question are allegedly found alive, and some such remarkable cases come to us from a remote region of Russia, where a supposedly alien creature was found and taken care of by humans, only to vanish and leave a myriad of questions swirling in its wake. Of the first face to the next face. I don't know where the second face is. Andy's not answering me. Why? What are you thinking, Freaky Geek? What are you thinking about that? Like, is there? Okay, sent me the pic again. Okay. Ding. I heard it. Yeah, okay, that's the one I thought. Yeah. Gotcha. Now, is that like okay, hold on, let me pull up. I don't know where to I don't know where to go to my history. How do I go to my history? Well. Oh, wait. It might be over here. Haha. History. We'll get there. Okay. And there's a larger kind of looking to the left. Really? So that would be down here, right, Andy? I know. It's beautiful, isn't it, Nicole? I love it. So is it like straight down from the mouth below that area? Okay. But yeah, that's where I thought it was. Oh, I missed Ron's. The alien looking baby from Russia. That's the only small alien looking. No, it's definitely a different one. Yeah, I see the black circle right here. Yeah. I that's where I thought you were looking, but I wasn't sure. A lot of ice fissures around the area. Yeah, unfortunately, I can't zoom. Maybe if I go like this. Oh, that's bigger. That's nice. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Oh, I can zoom. Andy, I can zoom. I wish I could zoom on the other one. Yeah. It's definitely wild. I mean, it gives you something to think about. Definitely. Yeah, I can't do that. I don't have controls there. I'm looking for, let's see if I can see anything else in there. But yeah, pretty neat. So getting back to the Russia's being, the bizarre tale begins in the summer of 1970 or 1996 when an elderly woman by the name of Tamara Prosperina was taking one of her regular walks around the village of Kolonovoy near Krishna, yeah, in the Ural region of Russia. On this day, she returned to the village clutching something wrapped in a blanket when she proclaimed it to be her baby, and which she had found in the wilderness under her tree next to a well near a cemetery. When people approached, she had it wrapped up, object close, and would not show it, merely telling everyone that his name was Eloshinika. This was odd enough, but considering her advanced age, most people just sort of wrote it off as a senile delusion or crazy old woman type syndrome. However, it would soon prove to be much more bizarre than that. A select few did, in fact, manage to get a look of what was wrapped in the blanket over the next few years, and it was no human baby anyone had ever seen before. This creature was described as being about 10 inches long with dark gray skin and brown spots on its head. It was completely hairless with large protruding eyes with vertical pupils like reptiles or cats, a very small thin-lipped mouth, small holes in the skull rather than actual ears, and long thin fingers topped with sharp claws. It exhibited no discernible navel or no genitalia, had no eyelids, and was reported to be making squeaking noises and breathing through a minuscule flat tube or flat nose. Prosverna would claim that the creature was unable to chew food due to its almost non-existent jaw and a incredibly small mouth. So she fed it milk and curd with a spoon and said that it enjoyed licking caramel candies. For the few weeks that it was in her care, she would say that it would rarely move, save to stretch its legs or extend its face towards food, and that it needed to be wiped down frequently due to a sweet smelling sweat that was profusely and consistently produced all over its body. You never know. Um, stretched way down. This was the mostly all witnessed by Provision's daughter-in-law, who would remain adamant as that it was all true and that this was no human baby. She would say of her first meeting with it, "I used to visit my mother-in-law twice a week. She was living on her own. On that day, I brought her foodstuffs, just like I did before. I was about to leave when she told me, 'We'd better give some food to the baby, too.' Then she showed me to the bed. I took a closer look at it and saw him. He was on the top of the bed, squeaking some funny sounds. I could see his mouth shaped like a small pipe. His tiny scarlet tongue was moving. I also spotted two teeth inside. In a way, he looked like a baby. His head was brown and his body looked gray. I didn't see any eyelids. He didn't even have genitals either. His head looked more like an onion, and his pupils of his eyes were widening and narrowing, just like cat's eyes do when you turn on and off the lights several times in a row. The fingers on his hands and feet were pretty long. I only bothered to ask my mother-in-law where on earth she got the monster from. She told me she found him in the forest. She kept calling it Aloshinka. She gave him a candy and he started sucking on it. I thought it was some kind of an animal. He was giving off that smell, one of a kind. You can't see. I thought you were talking about. See if that brings it up. I don't know. I'm just going at it randomly. That one. I think this is a totally different one, though. Well, that's weird. Yeah, I think this is a totally different one. I mean, I could be wrong. Yeah, this one was found in the Chilean desert. Is that the one you're talking about, Ron? He was giving off that smell, one of a kind. You can't take it for any other smell. Actually, the smell was pretty agreeable, yet somewhat nauseous at the same time. And he didn't pass any liquids or solid waste matter. He was sweating, and that's all there was. I saw my mother-in-law wipe the sweat off his face with a rag. The most of the neighbor had um not seen the strange child. However, and fearing for the old lady's mental health, authorities were called to take her away to an institution. As she was being led away, Prospirina reportedly protested, saying that her baby, Eloshenka, would die without her to care for him. Indeed, it would pass that a few days later, a man named Vladimir went to the home and found the creature dead as predicted and somehow having mummified in the meantime. The body was allegedly given over to police. Vladimir was arrested for stealing wire from the home, and that is where things would take a turn for the even odder still. Yeah. A police investigator by the name of Vladimir Bendelin started snooping around trying to get to the bottom of the mysterious being, with the rest of the department just sort of shrugging it off his shoulders as it all and mostly not taking it very seriously at all. He kept the body stashed away in his refrigerator, videotaping and photographed it, and apparently had subjected it to tests, which came up with mixed results. One expert wrote it off as a deformed child. Another said it was a male deformed fetus removed prematurely from the womb. But it would still have organs. I mean, it would still have, you could tell if it's a boy or a girl. I mean, I don't think a fetus. In fact, the most of the mummies now people have due to dryness and embalming methods more like alien kind of looking. Yeah. A fetus would still, I don't think it's going to make noises. I mean, I don't know. I can't say because I've never been around a fetus that is, born way early. That is true, Nicole, and we need to keep in mind that nature has a lot of weird mutated animals in this world. That is true. Photographed apparently one expert wrote it off as a deformed child. Another said it was a malformed fetus removed prematurely from the womb, while another stated that it was not human and showed decidedly anomalous bone structure, organs, and psychology. And others were uncertain of its origins. Bendelin began reaching out to those who might know something more than mainstream scientists, calling in local ufologists to persuade him to hand over the body of the creature to them to study. Bendelin grudgingly let them go off with it, and that's pretty much the last anyone would see of it. Following up calls to the organization were met with excuses that it's being studied, and he was led in circles by the group that the body's actual whereabouts is a mystery. In the meantime, Prosuria was released from the institution in 1999 and mysteriously run down by 2 vehicles almost as soon as she left the facility. With the accident oddly never being seriously pursued, she was described as having been dancing around in the middle of the road in some sort of trance when it happened. What is going on here? Was she killed by people who wanted to keep this all a secret? Or was this a freak accident with a rather ominous timing? It is unfortunate that the corpse of the alleged so-called Keystone dwarf has not turned up since, either being hidden away by UFO organization, whisked away by the government, or sold to some private collector. Whatever the case may be, it has disappeared without a trace, leaving only photographs, videos, and a cloth supposedly containing the creature's sweat to go on and doom it to the limbo of speculation. Hey Mary, how you doing? Believers point to this as being evidence of extraterrestrial life, while skeptics say it was either a hoax or simply a human fetus exhibiting mutations and deformities. Another theory put forward is that it was a mutant caused by the radiation produced in 1957 Keystone disaster, in which stored containers for liquid nuclear waste at the Maya plutonium plant in Ozark exploded to release 20 million Curie units of radioactivity that spread over the 20,000 square kilometers of Chelyabinsk. A gene discovered in the DNA samples doesn't correspond with any gene pertaining to human or anthropod apes. No gene samples available at the laboratory match the gene, and the experts in the DNA research haven't come across any creatures with such elongated DNA molecule. I am doing good. Thank you, Mary. I know. It is true, Andy. Amazing how much stuff government agency lose. Exactly. So, what was the Keystone being and where did it come from? Was it just a deformed human fetus? Or if so, then why do we witness say that it was alive and feeding as it was being taken care of? Was this just a hoax? Indeed, where did the body go, if it ever existed at all? Was it a cover up, destroyed, or even just filed away in some dusty back room somewhere and forgotten? Without the body, there's very little we have to go on, and so extraordinary cases like this will most likely remain merely a curiosity. I mean, pretty freaking wild. I'll put the link in the chat, of course, as usual. So this one, giant allegedly captured on camera in Mexico. Is this a genuine giant or something else? Let's see if I can open it up. No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help either. I tried. You are very welcome, Andy. Okay, Lone Wolf, I'm glad you're still here, hon. So, residents of Mexico's St. Louis Potosi region. Sorry for hitting them. Thank you, Ron, for the diamond. You didn't get me that time. I think because my volume's down. I'll put it up just for that. Thank you, Ron, for the diamond. That's so sweet of you. From Jack and the Beanstalk to Jason and the Argonauts, tales of giants have been an integral part of fairy tales, folklore, and mythology for thousands of years in countries all across the world. It kind of does, doesn't it, Andy? He said, looks like a farmer creeping up on all fours to a sheep. Quite why, I can't imagine. Yes, Nicole, that's because when somebody gives me diamonds or anything over in D Live, there's notifications. But could they really exist or even have existed? Enormous humanoids of such extreme scale? Some residents in the Hosku region of St. Louis, Mexico, certainly seem to think so, as evidenced by. Holy crap, there's a bee in here. That scared the hell out of me. Honey? Oh, no, don't come back this way. Hold on a minute, guys. Not that I'm allergic or anything, but I don't. Oh, crap, where'd it go? There it is. Oh, go towards the window. Be a lovely bee and just go out the window. Hold on 1 second, guys. Look, I don't know what to do now. Hold on. I don't want to blow your eardrums yelling for Eddie. I don't know where it went. Hold on. Okay, I'm back, guys. Where did I put my. All right. Oh, my goodness. Hold on. My light fell over. I'm trying not to make this. Holy crap. Come on, get up there. There we go. Good light. Good light. Stay right there. Don't. Oh, now it's going to fall over. Come on now. Ah. Hi, guys. How you doing? He didn't kill it. He just ushered it out the window. Oh my God, if it was a bald eagle, that would have been cool. Okay, I know somebody. What do I think about sirens? I know somebody asked. Oh, lone wolf. What do I think about sirens? Like sirens, as in out on the water sirens that lure people or lure sailors into death. That's weird, lone wolf. I don't know why you wouldn't be able to see anybody. You should be able to see people up on the screen at least. Oh no, because I don't. I'm sure. Never mind. Never mind. Everybody's saying hi to you, lone wolf. When I type, do you see me? I'll tag you. Oh, I don't think that does it anymore, does it? No, it wouldn't be at lone wolf, stupid. Oh my god. The robot ones? Are you talking about, wait a minute, are you talking about these guys? Hold on, let me. Like Siren Head? I think that's what he goes by. That guy? That's out of a game. That's not a real person. He's not a real person. It's a game. It came from a video game. I forgot what game, but yeah. Ron said, Lone Wolf, in other streams, I don't see you in chats. I thought you blocked me. So I'm wondering if YouTube, I'd go check Lone Wolf, I'd go check your blocked people and see if anybody's in there. Like go to your community tab and see if anybody's blocked in your YouTube. Either that or somebody's hacking into your account and blocking people and I don't know. So this person said, I was with my husband playing with my child when we heard a noise like an explosion. So we looked at the hill where we thought the noise was coming from. We thought it was a landslide. One man said, or one witness, Miss Antonio, who described seeing a large, thin man. It was about 5:30 in the afternoon. I was really scared. My husband started making fun of me, but when he saw that thing, he got very scared and told me to go into the house. That's so what um uh that's so what Eddie would say. He'd make fun of me until he saw it. Similar reports have also emerged from other nearby towns as well. A photograph of the alleged giant can be viewed above. However, it's quite difficult to make out whether it is something genuinely large or something that is small and out of focus. Could this be evidence? So, what do you guys think? I mean, there are a lot of legends about giants. Do you know what I mean? So, I can't dismiss giants of ever being like around. What's your guys' whole feelings about giants, whether in the past or today? Do you think at some time that they existed? And I'll go ahead and put that. That's off of unexplainedmysteries.com. Of course, I'll put that in the link or in chat. I mean, that link in chat. And the last story we oh no, I lied. The last story, yes. The last story we have. Oh, really, Ron? Saw an article that our military caught one in Afghanistan. I'll have to ask Eddie about that. Maybe that's the stuff he can't talk about. No, I'm joking. Possible, no reason why not, especially when you consider there are miniature versions of humans both now and back in history. The lack of verifiable evidence makes it iffy, though. That is true, Andy. That is true. Yeah, that picture is definitely out of focus. But I can imagine. I mean, you know, people make fun of the pictures all the time, but it's like you put that in a situation, you know, you put yourself in that situation, you're going to be um something that big, if I saw something like that, I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to get a clear picture of it. I'm just telling you right now, I'm not going to get a clear picture of it because my ass is going to be either running or I'm going to be shaking looking at it. Hell, who am I kidding? And my camera probably won't even come out of my pocket because of the fact that it's probably not in my pocket and up in my room because I never take my phone with me. That's a good question, Freaky Geek. I don't know. We do, they are pictures in the Guinness Book. Well, yeah. Yeah, and is that a mutation from like giants that, you know, living giants? Yes, in the Guinness Book of World Records. Never mind. I reread that. I reread that. And yeah. But yeah, I mean, is that a gene? And I mean, how many, we have DNA in our system that scientists don't know what is in those DNA because they haven't like opened up. We kill what is different. Yeah, that's true. It's very true, Ron. Unfortunately, yes, it's very, yeah, giantism. Yes. Native Americans have many oral stories about giants. They do. A lot of, like, a lot of, there's a lot of history about giants. There really are. And I mean, so much to where it's in just about every culture. So, I mean, I think about it. I mean, it's definitely possible. Like Andy said, it's definitely possible. So the last story I have today is the legend of Black Angel of Oak Cemetery. The strange black angel in Iowa City's Oakland Cemetery has long been connected to the supernatural. It's a part of the local lore in Iowa City and has been mentioned in books and websites for many years. As mentioned, though, its history has long been confused with another black angel, which is located in Council Bluff. The following is the true story and mystery of Oakland Cemetery's Black Angel. The Black Angel of Oakland Cemetery is an 8.5-foot tall burial monument for the Fiedler family, erected in the cemetery in 1912. Since that time, it has been a source of many stories and legends in Iowa City, most connected to the mysterious change in color that the angel took, turning from a golden bronze to an eerie black. Yes, very true, Ron, especially in western U.S. when Nevada was in the inland sea. Yeah. The statue was erected by Teresa Dolezal Fiedelvert, a physician who had immigrated to America from Bohemia. Teresa and her son Eddie came to Iowa City where she worked as a midwife. They lived in Iowa City until 1891 when Eddie died of meningitis at the age of 18. He was buried in Oakland Cemetery, and Teresa had a tree stump monument erected over his grave. It can still be seen today. After Eddie's death, Teresa moved to Oregon, where she married Nicholas Fieldovert, who died tragically just a few later in 1911. In the wake of this loss, Teresa returned to Iowa City, and she hired Mario Corbell, a bohemian artist in Chicago, to design the angel that would hover over the body of her son and the ashes of her husband. The angel arrived in the railroad flat car in Iowa City in November 21st, 1912. There had been many stories spread about even the most mundane aspects of the angel's existence. Started with the day it was erected in the cemetery, according to local history provided by people who lived in the city at the time. The angel was installed in the cemetery at the time of its arrival in 1912. Other sources claim that it actually stored in a barn for 6 years and was not erected until the court case after Teresa brought up against the artist Mario Corbell. The story states that she refused to pay the $5,000 cost of the statue because it did not meet her specification to include a replica of her son's tree stump monument in the angel monument. But she eventually lost her case. Whatever the truth is, at some point in the installation of the angel, Eddie's monument was moved from its original location to its present site alongside the angel. His remains, along with the ashes of Nicholas Fieldovert, were placed in a repository under the angel's base. Teresa died of cancer on November 18, 1924. Her ashes were also placed beneath the angel, and soon after, the strange stories began. Within a few years of his installation in Oak Cemetery, the glorious bronze angel strangely began to turn black. Most have explained this by natural oxidation of the metal, but not surprisingly, other explanations have surfaced, blaming evil acts, freak storms, infidelity, and even murder. One legend has it that Teresa Fieldovert was a very mysterious woman and that her evil caused the angel to turn black. This strange shadowing was to serve as a constant reminder of the sins of her family and as a warning for people to stay away from her grave. Some claim that Teresa's wicked ways were evident in the design of the angel. Unlike most gravesite angels, which are usually positioned with their heads and wings uplifted as a symbol of aiding in the ascent to heaven, the Fieldovert angel is looked down at the ground and her wings are not uplifted. And strangely, there is no death date on the monument for Teresa Fieldovert. One legend created another, and a variety of stories sprang up, stating that any girl who kissed at the angel's feet in the moonlight would die within 6 months. I love hearing how legends are born. Others said that touching the angel on Halloween night would lead to death in 7 years. And worse yet, kissing the angel itself would cause a person's heart to stop beating. Others claim that the angel turned black after a freak thunderstorm on the night of Teresa's funeral. According to this, the angel was struck by lightning, and this is what caused it to turn black. There are also stories that blame the black color of the angel on infidelity. In this version of the angel story, Teresa allegedly vowed over her husband's grave that she would remain faithful to him until the day she died, swearing that his death angel would turn black if she ever cheated on in his memory. The color of the angel these stories claim the answer is whether or not Teresa remained faithful. Perhaps the harshest explanation for the angel's color claims that Teresa's son did not die from an illness. As for the record stated, I had a bing, but it's Messenger. I'm like, what is that noise? Perhaps the harshest explanation for the angel's color claims that Teresa's son did not die from an illness, as the record stated, but rather than she murdered him. These stories claim that she fled to Oregon as soon after, and only her guilt brought her back to Iowa City. In shame, she moved his body to rest beneath the wings of the angel, and soon after it began to turn back as a reminder of her shame. And while such stories may bear little resemblance to the truth, they do remain an essential part of the lore and legend of Iowa. For generations, local residents and universities of Iowa students have come to Oakland Cemetery under the light of the moon to ponder the mysteries of the angel. She is regarded as one of the region's most haunted sites, likely based on odd stories, curses, and enigmas attached to her past and present. Dun dun dun. So there you go, my friends. That has been your Freaky News Friday. Hold on one second. Oh. Thank you. If you want to head on over while I do the credits. Hey, Carol Love in Alaska, how are you? No problem, no problem. It's good to see you. Head on over to that site. I know it's beautiful here as well. It's gorgeous. I love it. Finally, no, can't wait till Silvers. Copy and paste this into the stream and just keep going on over there. I'm not sure yet, Freaky. I'm not sure when the next movie will be. Keep putting that over in D Live. Let me go ahead. I want to thank you guys all for hanging out with me today. You guys have been wonderful as always. As always, you guys are simply amazing. I thank you for hanging out with me. Do the whole chest type thing. I'll roll the credits. And we'll go ahead and open the chest. Really? What am I doing here? Oh, stop, Andy. Oh, stop. You type that into copy and paste that chest type and just keep posting that. While I run the credits, I will open the chest. Get ready for it. I went through my blacklist and I found a lot of people blocked that I didn't do, so I'm so sorry, everyone. There we go. I'm glad. Good, Lone Wolf. I mean, I'm not glad that people got blocked, but I'm glad you figured it out. I kind of figured that was happening when people said that they didn't see when other chats. It wasn't just my chat, you know? We know it wasn't you, so it's no big deal. Hey, people over there mooning each other in D Live. Yeah, we're glad you fixed it. Definitely. Definitely glad you fixed it. Yay, you can see us all now. Yeah, definitely, Mary. You're right. Lone Wolf, change your password because obviously somebody is blocking it for you. You know, getting in there and screwing up your account. So make sure you change your password. Hold on a minute. I'm trying to figure something out. Oh, you got me that time, Ron. Thank you so much for the ice cream. I appreciate it. Thank you. Where is that it? Let's see, coming up on Monday's show. We're gonna be talking about the Bye Bye Man. Then some feathered death crowns. And we're going to be talking about Summerwind Mansion. It's believed to be one of the most haunted places in Wisconsin. What happened there to give it such a fearful reputation, and followed up with some ghosts in Mammoth Cave. So we're going to be talking paranormal and ghosts. We'll have more shows. As always, if you're listening on the podcast portion of this, I invite you, as always, to come over to the lives, jump in the conversation. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Let me go ahead and open up. I clicked out of D Live, so hold on a minute, and I will open up that chest. Make sure you click on it when it pops up, guys. As soon as I get there. As soon as I get there. Let me make sure it recognizes me, that I'm signed in. Okay. Are you ready? Here we go. Click on that link. Boogie boogie. I see you over there, Mary. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Congratulations, Ron, with 26.5 lemons. Freaky Geek got 15.6 lemons. Mary got 11.6. Good job, guys. Good job. I'm glad you guys got some lemons. Yeah, yay, Ron shared this time. Thank you for the ice cream, Ron. Thank you. You're awesome. You are awesome. Thank you guys so much for being over here and hanging out with me. I hope you guys had a good time. Definitely make sure you come up and come on the show Monday. Second half, we'll be sharing your paranormal experiences as well as the stories that I shared with you that we're going to be talking about. So, yeah, I shared this time. Thank you. You are very welcome. I'm glad you had a great time. I appreciate you all so much. You guys mean the world to me. I always look forward to my lives. Soon, as soon as we get the base, Eddie will be joining me. We're actually talking about moving the bed out of here and making it just a studio so we both can look eye to eye to each other when we're talking, and look eye to eye to you guys when we're talking about different stories. So it's going to be cool. The time here was interesting. Then again, it always isn't. Thank you, Freaky Geek. That means a lot to me. It really does. You wouldn't believe I just. Oh no, Ron or Andy. Oh no. I love you too, Mary. Thank you so much. Oh no, Andy. Yes, thank you, Ron, Nicole, and Tamara, of course, as always, for being my little mooners over in D Live. If you feel you'd like to, definitely hit the subscribe button. I would love to have you guys as a mooner and share your little moons. And yeah, we'll see you guys. And like I said, always, click the notifications. I might go live. I bought a couple new games. Oh, please let that be the washer or dryer and not okay, it's gotta be. Always leave on an interesting note, I swear to God. Um, I bought a couple games. One is, let's see, what did I buy? Lucky Tales, Super Lucky Tale, KO the Kangaroo, which I found out I might not be able to play that often because I get motion sickness, and Snake Pass. That's a new game that it's brand new, hasn't even come out in stores yet, as far as I understood. As last time I mooned, I spent 4 hours at the police station. Right? I hear you. I hear you. But you're allowed to moon over on you're allowed to be a mooner over on D Live, my channel. So, just saying. But anyway, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day. I will talk to you sometime, I'm sure. I'll see you guys in streams. Be safe, take care, love one another, and just be kind and smile. Always smile. All right. I love you guys. Talk to you Monday or see you Monday, if not before then. Much love. Take care. Be safe. Mwah. Talk to you later.